I was like, so I literally just did a trade recap, and I have to do it again because the recording, I mean the audio recording isn't on here. I thought I was like recording my voice. I was like, alright, so I took technically three trades, but only one trade on this account. I had a lucid eval, and then I had this TPT eval, take profit. So my general bias was towards this low, which is data low. Even though it's been taken on the Nasdaq ticker and the ES ticker, but on the micros it still isn't. Q and MES still have it. And normally for sessions like this, when we have data low and data high, regardless of 4 hour, regardless any this and that, at least for my conviction and my discretion, data high or data low or wherever side the wick is always going to be where the drum liquidity, unless it's already taken, or there's just no wick or whatever the scenario is. But if there's a wick, that's always going to be the drum liquidity, at least from my discretion. Obviously, the scenarios where we have the data high, data low, and then it just goes the opposite way. It never hits it, or at least it hits it. Alright, so back to what I was saying, if I want to say, but the whole point is either the data high, data low, data wick, whatever it is, wherever it's at, there's drum liquidity, and then at times where, like, let's say the wick, we have a data low wick, which is basically like a candle where let's say it's 530, which is like today's CPI. The wick is sort of downside, and we just continue to pump. At times when it comes like that, it's either it's retraced to later in the session, the next session, like the same day, but Asia session, or the next day, or the following week, or like later on in the month. But for most scenarios, it's normally taken within the same day, at least from the backtesting sessions that I've done. And well, yeah. So it's the trades. I mean, the trades I took one last night on the lucid eval, which ended up losing on that one. I took it more of a pattern trade, to be honest, which is bad. And then also acknowledge that now. Because the same setup here, the V-shaped recovery versus that targeting on 15 minute up here, and then break even at a 1-to-1 or a break even at a 5 and 15 minute. But it's bad because it's a higher time frame, it's 5 minutes. And yet, look how many candles it took to do. Which that's the reason why I don't like trading any sessions that are like later. Which is basically a session, and for me, this is like 1 a.m. So I'm like, no, that's good. So I took it. Stop loss right here at this low. I literally entered at the top. Yeah, stop loss right there was like 30 points, and then 1 or 2, somewhere around here. I break even at this high 1-to-1, but I wasn't gonna break even at this 5 minute or 15 minute. But I got sold out there on the lucid one, and yeah, so I was down like basically 600 because of slippage. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, so my price coming into the day was this data wick candle here. This is by CPI at 530, or my time. On micros, the wick is still there. On NQ, it's already been taken. Well, the regular taper, it's still there. So my first idea was I don't trade relatively in the first 15 minutes unless it's a data high, data low scenario. But even then, I tend to wait because at times the market just goes there and it does it like in the first minute, the first 30 seconds already there. I'm like, oh, if it's set up's already there, then yeah, let's go. Only for sessions like this, for data high, data low. But on the regular session, there's no news. I wait for the first 15 minutes and then go from there. It's around 6:45 basically is when the session starts. So the first idea was. It's in this scenario here, this area here, but there was no good like setup. Everything was pretty much choppy, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just wait for some sort of manipulation, because it's either we're gonna dump towards data low, or if we're manipulating to this 15 minute, 5 minute here, then it's just manipulating it to go longer, not to short. But if it shorts, it's gonna dump straight towards it, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just wait. It's either I miss it, or that's it. So just waited, Nasdaq ended up taking one then high. ES doesn't, so SMT there. I use SMTs, but I haven't really been using it. Like, I don't base my whole bias off SMT is nah. SMT is just SMT and that's it. But yeah, NQ subsists. We end up rejecting off of 1 hour, and I think it's 4 hours over here. We see put into no buy side. So my idea was short. Some people had longs today. Yeah, long split out here. But for me, since this is data session, I don't care anything about anything else besides that. And yes, it's mirroring bias, but I have the back testing session to back it up. and oh yeah, we have high time from SMT, high time from rejection off of high time from gap, sweep up internal buy side. So we have this too many here. I didn't enter off of it because this candle itself is like 80 points, and I'm like, yeah, I don't do that. If the candle's bigger than already, give or take like 30, 40 points, yeah. Mainly 30, I don't enter. Because theoretically for me, I enter off of inversions, I trade inversions. I used to trade market structure shit, which basically would be literally right here, which was I was trying to enter, which is technically this is on market structure shift, but it's on the 2 minute because like the market structure shift is down here. It's below the previous. I mean, from what I've always traded and understood and taught, it's the structure in and of itself. So this is where actually they break, and the retest would be in back into the range, which would be here. So you would enter short right there. Just break your structure, obviously, but I enter up a gap, so it would be the retest here. There's a gap here. I would wait for the retest into the gap and into there, but based off of like a higher structure perspective and just off of like levels and on, this would be where you enter because we actually broke retest into EQ the range, which should be literally it's EQ the range, enter up there, stop at the high, and that's it. But again, these points are like so big. But yeah. So now my idea was to enter up here, but I wanted to wait for some sort of reaction because it started pumping. I don't want to enter trade and then I don't do limit orders because in my experience I don't have good experience with it. But yeah. I don't want it to end up getting blasted through it and get cooked again. So I wanted to wait for some sort of reaction on 30-minute or 1 minute. I mean 30-second or 1 minute. There was a 30-second inversion. The 1 minute just dumped. It basically just reacted too fast for me to react, and yeah, I missed it, and then ended up dumping towards my TP, which would be right here, 75 points, because obviously 50% consistency rule, which would be right there, and then yeah. But obviously John liquidity is so this low, or even this low. But I mean, be able to target this low. And yeah, so that was the first trade idea, but I didn't take it because of that, and yada yada yada. So then the trade I do take on this, on the TPT, I mean the lucid one was I took a 5 minute inversion here. What's that? Oh yeah, I forgot what I took. I know I did this and I took another one, but I can't remember right now. But yeah, so this 5 minute, the 5 minute ended up inversing right there. And my idea wasn't longs, but obviously since both of them I've taken the data session low, I'm like, oh, and we're all time highs. It's always long, 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 long. Even like the it doesn't even sweep below when it's just long. So I'm like, it just cooks off. I mean, we're actually sweeping some sort of area where there's a bunch of influence. So if we get some sort of momentum towards the upside, maybe we're gonna start flipping. So we get the 5 minute inversion. I took it right there. But before this, I already had like a narrative. But I was like, okay, we're gonna wait for this 5 minute to get tapped to, because I still had a bearish idea. But yeah, this ended up happening. So I was like, maybe it's flips. But yeah. I was like, okay, we're gonna go to the 5 minute, reject here, have a inversion or something down to the downside, and then find some sort of entry, which would be this, literally this right here, to the downside. Oh yeah, this is what I took. Yeah, I waited for that, and then I took. Yeah, this is what it was. So I waited for it. We had the 5 minute retracement. This little inversion right here I took, and then got stopped out there. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I got tilted. I'm like, bruh, so cook. Not because I lost in the tilted, because I have no drawdown, which pisses me off more. The drawdown pisses me off more than the actual loss in the tilted. So I went to the 5 minute. Okay, we missed the 5 minute. I'm like, it's just not about long. Okay, we sleep up south side, 5 minute inversion, targeting 4 hour, 1 hour above here. And I'm like, a lot of people took, well, not a lot of people, but some people took the same idea that I had. So I'm like, it wasn't the wrong idea either. But I mean, it was the wrong idea, but not a bad one. But yeah, so then I ended up with a 5 minute right there, and then I'm just looking at it as like it's playing out. I go to lower time, I'm like, bro, like this is like the better setup towards the downside. So I just closed it. I was down like to something, I think it was, and I had like no drawdown on the double account because I already took a London session trade. That's what knocked me down. So I entered here on the TPT one, and then, I mean the lucid, and then yeah, that one got cut because this literal wick here blew it, and then it just dumped. So I'm like, alright, bro. So then instead of the TPT one, so plus 35 when it's 75 points. Well, 76, but because I was like all the fee and whatever. So yeah, entered and then that one's maximum TP. So it was around 15.30, and I have to lose $30 because of 50% consistency rule. I'm geeking or whatever. So then I just entered along here. I remember there was a scam, I think. I tell them, here, just to lose it, and then it's down $25. I close it, and then this one opens up or something like that. Then it's down like $105. I'm like, all right, bro. All right, that's fine. So yeah, so up 13. Oh, yes, 13.95. So I just need another 1,500 and 105. But yeah, that's a trade recap. Yep. 1 minute version, 1 or 2. Break even 1 to 1. Targeting previous low. And higher time frame 1 hour and 4 hour unflip down. Which for the context is right here, which is this guy right here. And then this guy right here. But I'll see if I forget. Let me put it on.